moves around.
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body. It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
The things that were used to move Taka's body must have been...
My gun!
There's still one more thing. Used to move Taka's body, it must have been the tarp.
My gun!
They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
What's with the attitude?
So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room, and then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that, up until then, was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must
Robo
have seen
Justice
it
suit!
and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp and the dog.
God, I hate doing her
Same
voice.
thing.
Same thing, bro.
I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first
I might
found
rock that
Taka's
Robo
body
Justice
there.
suit, to be honest. That looked cool.
But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly.
Yeah, I think I know how this was done.
Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository,
I think I know who was working together on this.
so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body. Am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Man?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? The dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository.
Again,
and
she's
large
really definitive in this case. She doesn't usually do
It would be
this.
very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway.
Wow, she's a bitch, too.
We've all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
Bitch. Wow, I've never heard anyone sound so nice while being so mean, but maybe I can change her mind. I can just explain them why the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room to the repository. Let's talk about reloading. Starting with this next bullet time, we're going to add one more ingredient to the recipe. On the bottom of the screen, underneath the tempo marker, you'll see an ammo count. Up until now, there hasn't been really a limit on how you can destroy your opponent's statements, but from this now on, just locking on and pressing the left mount button won't be enough to handle them. Now it will cost you 1 bullet to destroy a single remark. Once you run out of bullets, you cannot destroy any more statements, no matter how locked on you are. However, you can reload by pressing the tab key. Just like locking on, you'll have to press the tab key in time with the tempo marker. Basically, just remember that the tab key now has a function along with the arm. You'll automatically reload at the start of fever time, and your ammo will not decrease. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to Gentile, you don't have to worry about it, in which case you can ignore everything I just said. I'm not really entirely sure what they mean, but... Oh, I have to fight her already?
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. I cannot agree.
This should prove it.
I'm surprised they had to do that so quickly, because usually that's something for the end.
If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here. When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it.
That's right, the blood stain.
There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's trail. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room. And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Jesus, Les really hate me that much? No, I think she did it, bud.
Well, anyway,
I think she did
that
it.
was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Okay.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
Oh my god, she's still
I'm
sitting on the
not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer.
Because he can't bend.
If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
He can't bend. Look how the body was moving. Clear why the suit couldn't have done it. What does he mean by that? And now you have to hit the suit because you'd have to bend down. Yeah, I remember this.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room.
He was.
And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp,
Okay.
then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled
Yes.
it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Oh, geez, the dolly does have an end.
Shoot!
That wasn't it. I got jumpy. I got jumpy!
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room.
She was.
And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
It might be loaded.
Keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
Couldn't. We talked about
No,
that.
it's wrong. You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low.
But he couldn't.
But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
She couldn't bend. I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing. Oh, do I have to click it? Oh, I'm telling you, it wasn't me. And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. This is like a pretty obvious oversight.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
You are.
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
She's still really definitive.
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Very good.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
No, he couldn't take off the suit. There's absolutely no chance, Dustin, because
I got it! I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember,
I don't know what's going on with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help? Why would you make something you can't take off by yourself? I didn't make the stupid frickin' thing! There's a clasp on the back that keeps you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. You don't really have a choice. Let's help him.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Yes.
You really can't take it off by yourself? Hero wasn't just making it up?
No!
Of course I wasn't making it up.
Duh.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it.
Yeah.
Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
True. Very true.
Yeah, that's right.
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
Yes.
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hero in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that?
Oh, I wonder why you're trying to get everyone to
Besides,
be convinced by that.
do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
How'd you get hurt? The guy hit me. What guy? Robo Justice, that's what I decided to call him just now.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question.
No, I don't think so,
The
bitch.
individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hero, without a doubt.
Nope, I think you just wanted to be because you killed him.
Yeah, that's gotta be right.
It's still far too
sorry.
early to reach that conclusion.
Yeah. Kyoko's not fine.
Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it. Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility?
I agree.
Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Yep.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
Okay.
What a pain in the ass!
Yeah, I know.
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
I agree.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened.
Okay.
I suppose we could start with this morning.
Sakura's
Four
gonna
of us
explain
gathered
this.
together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant.
Right.
I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
Right.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo Justice had abducted Hifumi.
Right.
We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect.
Okay.
But not long after leaving the nurse's office,
She pointed out that he was missing. This is the rhythm that I'm talking about. Throughout the story, see who's the one that saw... I saw a shadow, something moving around the top of the stairs. See who says,
When
I saw
Celeste
that.
told us that, we decided to
Who
split
says,
up and
I
search
saw
the
him
second
every
floor.
time?
And soon after that,
Who is it
I
again?
saw someone moving around on the 3rd
Her
floor,
again!
and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down in the hallway and disappeared.
and then,
Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been Fumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back. She said we have to go back.
At that point, we